Goeienaand, good evening, fellow South Africans and citizens of the world. And, you know, I get so much information coming across my desk, and I've been talking to a particular person for literally weeks about the story I'm going to break here on YouTube. And I'm going to attach documentation in the links underneath so you can actually see the original emails, the original documents, and you can see that this is a fair dinkum story. It's a scandal. It's actually a scandal. And before I get into the scandal, I want to read to you an email that I got from one of our many subscribers. And she wrote, "My husband works for South African Airways. He retires in a few years. Although I agree 100% with you, I want to vouch for 99% of the pilots in South African Airways. There are still a large crowd of very well-educated, experienced pilots within South African Airways. Although it is a species that I guess they are desperate to get rid of, and although there are a zillion reasons why we need to think that it is a great mess. I want to tell you that our pilots are of the best trained pilots. Unfortunately, we cannot vouch for the next generation." And this is where it comes to a very interesting aspect. And if you're a pilot with South African Airways, your confidentiality is totally secure, but you can either confirm or deny what has been said here. And this is really where we're moving with this video. It's extraordinary what's coming. "My husband has a flying career of more than 30 years. He is in trouble a lot because he refuses to fly if there is the slightest of indication that something in the aircraft may be wrong. It is scary how the intimidation is very evident. If the pilots report decisions made by engineers or mechanics, they are racist and called in to apologize for their racism." Do you get that? Now, the pilot's supposed to be the commander of the ship, but you know, the engineer hasn't done their job correctly and the pilot writes a report, they have to go and apologize because they're a racist. These are pilots, senior pilots you're talking about, in South African Airways. That because they dare to tell the ground staff that they have not done their jobs. And this person goes on to say, apparently the Pilots Association has given South African Airways 90 days for a turnaround in management and other affairs. If not, they plan a pilot stay away. And then she finishes by saying, "Lord help us." Now, why am I starting off with this intro? Because I've got some information here which is very, very concerning. And I'll tell you why. Okay, on the 7th of June 2019, the business report confirmed that there'd been a new appointment at South African Airways in a very critical position. And I'll read you the statement. Quoting board chairperson J.B. Magwaza, Ngoduzo said at Rhodesia will be supported by an experienced executive committee, including Chief Restructuring Officer Peter Davies and Interim Chief Financial Officer Dion Fredericks. Ngoduzo said, with the support of the shareholder, the board and executive management of South African Airways are fully committed to the turnaround strategy. In that regard, we are working closely with the shareholder to optimize the aviation assets of the state. And he went on to say, the board is also taking steps to strengthen the executive capacity in the group. We have appointed Adam Voss, that's VOS, as the new CEO of South African Airways Technical, and we are finalizing the appointment of a permanent CEO for Mango. We are close to concluding other senior appointments and will make further announcements in due course. So, what are we talking about here? Well, Adam Voss, quite simply, who now is in charge of maintenance for South African Airways. And he has a dirty little secret, and it involves something that happened a few years ago with Newcrest mining. And I will be attaching all the documents so you can download them and have a look at them for yourself. What Andrew Voss did was he changed the flight rules for one of the craft that Newcrest Mining used. And he did this despite being told that they were against the law, his changes. The aircrew requirements were, this is before Adam Voss joined Newcrest in this capacity, aircraft shall be crewed by 2 pilots when the aircraft is certified with passenger capacity greater than 9. Flights operate under instrument flight rules. Night flying operations are carried out, and an audit has determined that the operation should be carried out by more than 1 pilot. Okay, so those were the regulations. What Voss did was he actually changed the regulations against the recommendations and the advice of the people involved, and I'll give you more background to that. Single and 2 pilot operations was changed to aeroplanes below 5,700 kilograms MTOW fitted with 9 or less passenger seats may be flown by a single pilot during daylight operations. And this is in contravention of the ICAO terminology and Indonesian regulations. And you'll see that in the document which I attach. And this was sent to Voss by a contact on Thursday, the 11th of August 2005 at 12:56 p.m. And this is what the email reads. Apart from Newcrest MHG MHS requirement that confirms the requirement for 2 crew, it is unwise to even consider single pilot corporate operations in this class of aircraft, as the workload in adverse weather and emergency situations is unacceptably high. The Newcrest Indonesian operation should be aligned with Australian levels of safety requirements. So that's the recommendation. But Voss knew better. So you only had 1 pilot when there should have been 2 pilots in the helicopter. Let's see where this takes us. On the 28th September 2006 at 5:26 a.m., John Dickinson, who's the ME General Manager, sent an email to Adam Voss with a copy to Tim Lahaney, who's the MIP General Manager. And the subject is Aviation Safety, Halmahera Island. And he writes, Adam, find attached minutes from our aviation safety meeting held on the 26th September 2006. I refer you to point 1 of these minutes in which charter flights for Halmahera were discussed. It would appear that we are operating in breach of our own policy, and in the opinion of our aviation expert, it is a high risk. Would you please provide comment and input recommending what corrective actions need to be taken? There is also a recommendation that we should upgrade the GPS tracking capability of this aircraft, which would significantly enhance the prospects of locating the aircraft in an emergency situation. The apparent cost, in my opinion, is small compared to the significantly enhanced functionality of the upgrade. Would you also provide input into whether or not we should proceed with this upgrade? And that's signed off by John. And then on the Tuesday, the 3rd of October 2006, John writes to Adam, because I'm accountable for the operation of the aviation policy for Newcrest, your operation is in breach of that policy. If an incident occurs, we will all look incompetent if it becomes apparent that we have made or put a policy in place and it's a policy that has not been followed and was implemented within the last 12 months. So it is my view that we either amend the policy in an orderly manner to the satisfaction of Ian and the board, or we put corrective actions in place to ensure compliance with the Newcrest policy. And you can read the email because I'm going to attach it below here. So what happened was that Adam Voss wrote back to John Dickinson, ME General Manager, on the Tuesday, the 3rd of October 2006. And again, this email will be attached below. The link will be below this video. And he wrote to John Dickinson as follows. Attached is an explanation from the NHM Aviation Advisor that, in my opinion, more than adequately explains how and why we are operating with only one pilot. Tim, can I please have an exemption from the aviation policy? Signed off by Adam Voss, General Manager, PT Nausua Halmahera Minerals. So, why are we talking about all this? Well, there was an accident. Now remember that Adam Voss now heads up the maintenance of aircraft at South African Airways. And I bet South African Airways are not aware of this information. Newcrest Mining Bell 412 accident, Manado, Indonesia. The Bell 412 helicopter, operated by Nirman Air, crashed near Manado on the island of Sulawesi, Indonesia on the 3rd of August 2011, with a loss of 10 people. 10 people were killed. Adam Voss was a manager of the Halmahera mine at the time of the accident. John Dickinson, MEGM, was his immediate superior, and as you will see from the emails, he supported me but was overridden by Adam Voss. And as I say, you can see the emails. They're linked below this video. This fellow goes on to say, I spent a few years before the accident warning him that the operation was unsafe and that he needed to upgrade to a 2-crew operation with properly trained pilots and with the correct instrumentation on the aircraft. The 3 emails extracts I will attach are the tip of an iceberg, as I have in-depth and irrefutable evidence. I wrote the original aviation standard for them. This standard defines exactly what they needed. However, after they signed it, Adam Voss decided it was too restrictive for them, and he asked me to change it. I refused to do this, so he, in conjunction with another Newcrest safety manager, made the changes. That is the 3rd document attached. So again, that document will be below this video in the links. After the accident, Adam Voss initially joined Toll in Australia as their maintenance manager based in Brisbane. He then went on to Fiji Airlines, ending up in Jet Airways just before he moved on to his current job as CEO of South African Airways Technical Services. Now, I don't know about you, but when you heard what that woman had to say about her pilot and the experience they're having when they make a complaint because things aren't quite right with South African Airways, and they get called into the office and have to apologize for being racist, and then you look at what went on under the authority of Adam Voss when he was with Newcrest Mining, there's a huge stink here. And it really needs to be investigated by South African Airways. So I'm sure that South African Airways will see this video. Please, guys, look at the links below. Have a chat to Adam Voss. And I think you'll find that this is probably something he didn't talk to you about. All right, guys, please remember to subscribe to be kept informed. Ring the bell for the updates. Please like this video. And above all, stay safe, and please do share this video. Bye for now.